timestamp. As my hand, like Apollo, is over the. Where are we? 9/19, September 19th, 2025. Right? About 6:30. Did a couple things in between. For those of you who are continuing from the video earlier, the stool, I need to scrape the sides, but it looks like I got all that little last residue of the old stain off the sides. And I'm going to start doing the weathered gray. Nope, back won't do that. This guy. Should look really good. And we got the silver and the blue. We got 3 stools in the house now. 4th one's on the way. So not sitting on bed bugs anymore. That's cool. Gah. Oh yeah. Because I figure it's a metal stool with a wood top. It's not real fabric-y textile-like. They're going to have a hard time. They'll be really noticeable if they're crawling on it, which, you know, we do find those things crawling on things in here. But they kind of don't have anywhere really to hide with the way they're built. There are a couple of, like, metal caverns within the design, but that's not really typically what they do. So, that's nice. We got 2 silver? I don't know, we got silver and blue. And Pix likes the silver more, and I'm undecided. And I'm undecided simply because once I redo everything here, and it's going to be more the gray flooring with the white cabinets and the wisteria walls, because it's going to be, it's as much lavender as it is gray. It's this weird marriage of the two. I expect when people do come over, because we will be entertaining eventually, that'll be nice. Be a nice change. I've missed that. It'll probably be like that dress meme that was floating around as far as the whole, is it tan or blue? People will say they're purple, it's gray, it's purple, it's gray. It's both. But I'm not sure which one, whether the silver or the blue will be the most pleasing on the palette, because they both have pros and cons. You know, is the blue going to be too much of a contrast? Is the silver going to blend in too much to where it doesn't actually have any kind of pop? I don't know. But full disclosure, probably by the end of this, have probably like 6 or 8 stools, because we're gonna have arcade games and pinballs and stuff like that. So there will be some stools running around, not just for eating, but also for, you know, sitting down and playing a game or something. I'm probably gonna half it to where it's gonna be like 3 and 3 or 4 and 4. So either way, it's a winner, you know. Exactly. Which brings me to, so I got a phone call yesterday. It was a follow-up call to a call that I'd made the day before. And kind of letting a secret out. I'm letting the kittens out of the canvas here. Because little tickle there, that's probably the emphysema. Yeah. Every now and then. Not chronic with it, but every now and then. Get like a little faint tickle in the back of my throat that won't quite go away for half an hour. It's annoying. But, okay, so on my phone I set up, and I use sound bites from typically movies, TV shows, things like that. It's just how I do it for ringtones, notifications, and I know at a glance, or not even at a glance, just by hearing it, my phone can be across the room. And, I mean, most people have the, like, chime or something like that, so they know I just got a text message. I set mine up individually, and probably some of you do too, and probably some of you don't. But when I hear the text prompt, I know who it is by what the text prompt was. You know, Alex, my middle kid, is a huge Futurama fan. Huge Futurama fan. So if he texts me, I hear Fry doing, I'm having one of those things again. It's a headache with pictures. And Leela offers an idea. That's just kind of how I roll. Because to me it's funny, he had an idea, texted me, and therefore I get that prompt. So with this particular business that I just closed a deal with yesterday, hopefully I don't get knocked copyright-wise. I don't own this. I don't own the audio that I'm about to play. This is just what I have on my phone. I pulled it off the internet. This is what came across my phone as a ringtone. If you know, you know. So my wife is sitting across from me at the bar. The timing was either perfect or horrible, depending on your point of view. And she hears it, and she kind of cocks her head to the side because she recognizes it, and I can tell she can't quite place it. And then as I start talking to Jose, and she's hearing what I'm saying, I see this. And at this point, I know the game is up. But I'm also just thrilled with what I'm doing currently. And we had talked about this, you know. So I get off the phone after giving my shipping address, and she asked me, what are we having delivered? And I let her know, and of course I'll show you when it gets here. It's going to be probably a week. It's coming from, I think, Missouri. We're getting a Gauntlet Multicade, which I've wanted a Gauntlet machine in my own home since, when did it come out? 1985? But it's a multicade. I asked him what all's going to be on it. He said it's going to have like an extra 60 or 70 games. Gauntlet 2, Turtles. I wouldn't be surprised if like Simpsons was on there. He said, you know, with that model, we typically take advantage and make sure that any of the like 4-player multiplayer games are on there. So, kind of wondering if Xenophobe's going to be on there. That'd be cool. I don't know how it would work on the screen, but yeah, I told her we're getting a Gauntlet Multicade, and she's like, okay, where are you going to put it? I'm like, well, I'm working on this now. I've got a plan. I know I'm going to make it work. And she's like, okay. And then it was funny to me because like 10 minutes later she asked me, it's a Gauntlet machine. I said, it is a Gauntlet Multicade, yes. She was like, what is a multicade exactly? What does it mean? I said, well, it's a game that has the main game that's usually like the one that'll be on the screen unless you are playing, and then you can like select with a joystick and scroll down. And then you have access to other games. And she was like, how many? I said, you know, he said like 60 or 70. And I listed off what I just listed to you, and she was like, oh. Okay, so that... She's like, I'm assuming you paid a couple $1,000 for it. I'm like, Yeah, it was about 3. Getting it delivered and all that, it was about 3. A little bit over. Arcades Market, they've got a great reputation. And if everything goes sideways, I'll let you know. Don't get from them. But if everything goes great, I'm going to reinforce the idea of call them. They've got a lot of games in their showroom, and they do. I don't know if they have a list, but they had something on their website about contact us if you're looking for a specific game. So in the future, I may be doing that because there are some games that I want to get that are a little bit more hard to come by. Like I'd like to get a Major Havoc. It's an older Atari game. I love it. It's just goofy fun. But anyway, she was like, okay, so paid a couple $1,000, but you're actually getting 60 or 70 games in the one cabinet. I'm like, yeah. But she looks and sounds like a Gauntlet machine unless you're doing that. She was like, okay. So she's starting to kind of ease her into the idea of we're allowed to have nice things. We're allowed to have nice things. It doesn't always have to be a struggle, and it has been. If you've been with me for a while, you know that. But we're doing really well on eBay, and we still have some money stockpiled from the past year or two and whatnot. So I can do it. And I did it, But yeah. So I'm like a 5-year-old counting down to Christmas. I gotta be honest with you. He called me back. We'd been playing phone tag the day before, because I had initially called him on Tuesday to set things up, and then Wednesday it was just Tagorama. We could not connect. And he happened to call me when she and I were sitting at the bar here, and said, okay, here we go. We're going to put that sack on the ground and let all the kittens out. So yeah, but the ringtone I think definitely made her go, I know that, because she pounded some quarters in a Gauntlet machine as a teenager too. I mean, the designer of the game, so I watched it, it was a cool documentary on YouTube, 30-minute documentary. The designer of the game, Ed Log, I think is his name, I could look it up on the Zybots machine because he designed that one too. But he had helped design Asteroids and a couple of other games in the early 80s. I mean, he's like an early pioneer of arcade games. But he noticed that his teenage kids, and their friends were playing this tabletop board game-like thing called Dungeons and Dragons. And he said to himself, Ed, how can I make that a video game? Like an arcade game where several players can play at the same time, just like my kids and their friends are. And Gauntlet. And another interesting factoid that I learned was originally the working title was Dungeon. And I guess the legal team at Atari went, it's a word. No one's copyrighted the word or trademarked the word. But because it is part of Dungeons and Dragons, we don't want to get sued, and I don't think we would, but we might. So let's come up with a different name, just to avoid any and all of that, because we already know that we're making, a bare bones D&D video game. We already know that. We don't need to give them a reason to sue us. So, Gauntlet. I'm such a little kid. But the bills are paid, so I don't hear it. You know what I mean? We're okay. And I told her when it gets here, we're going to have a family Gauntlet party. And she was like, Okay. Well aware that I'm 12. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. All right. So I said I wasn't going to be buying a lot of the. I was pretty much done with the Let's Go, I think, Durables line, the vehicle with the figure. This is one of the other ones that I really, really, really wanted. And I had to order it by itself because, number one, the price was actually pretty good. Number two, I couldn't find it. The only place I could find it was like in really huge mixed lots, and I wasn't trying to spend $100. I think I spent like $8, which is still more than I was hoping to get it in like a mixed lot so I could do what I do, but I couldn't find them. So it's a Cheshire Cat. And I can't show this to my wife because she'll try and steal it from me. Because I got this for me, damn it. You said you didn't want the vehicle, so that's my story and I'm sticking with it. That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. And what else are we're gonna open this month, Roughly. I know what this is. So I've been getting the air speeders from Star Wars. I wanted something basic, so if I start doing dioramas, I've got kind of a more uniform ship for dioramas, like for a hangar type sequence or something like that. And I'm a huge fan of the Y-Wings. I've always loved Y-Wings. They're pricey. Maybe when the dust settles and whatnot, I'll get a couple. I think there's like 3 different Y-Wings out there, full size, for like 4-inch figures. So there was like a Toys R Us exclusive one. There's an original one that came out in 1978 or so, something like that. And I think they did another one. I think there are 3 full-size Y-Wings. There might even be 4. But once I actually can breathe and can actually afford to do that guilt-free kind of thing, I'll look into it and I'll probably try and get like one of each, whether it's 3 or 4, you know. But in the meantime, one of the things one of the other newer ships that I actually love are the U-Wings. And they're a little bit more economical. Like this one, I think I paid, I think 30 or 40 for it total with shipping and everything. I can do that. Some of the Y-Wings, some of the cheap ones are like 150, 200. That's what I'm talking about. And if I want one of each, we might be looking at $1,000 for the caboodle. And the second, no, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, it's hard work for it. Do what you gotta do, right? The box is giving birth. Okay, cool. That was a good way to do it. So this one, he actually had the pilot. I guess it's, I'm behind on my Star Wars watching. I guess it's, Cassian. I haven't watched Andor yet. I will, but I haven't. The last thing that I marathoned was Wednesday. I have seen Ahsoka. It was great. I saw the first Kenobi series. Great. I have not watched Andor yet. It's on my list. So this is a U-Wing. I'm going to try not to knock anything down. So it's got a lever in the back, which should make the wings go out. One of the things I think I love about it is I'm obsessed with the snow speeders too, and it almost has that look in the main body. You know what I mean? And when you pop the wings back, almost like a stretched snow speeder, really. Kind of. You know what I mean? To me, it almost looks like a snow speeder and a Y-wing had a love child, which I'm okay with that. You make pretty babies. Okay, yeah. It's got landing gear. Y'all. What are you? I don't know what you are. Some kind of rocket launcher, maybe a missile launcher. See, that's got. I was gonna say it's got to have landing gear in the back. That would be awkward. Try and land it like an ostrich. But, you know, nice and beefy like the old school ships. And this one, I got one a while ago. It didn't have any figures with it. So I guess looking it up on eBay, whatnot, it did come with this guy as a... Frequently the ships will come with like a pilot figure or something like that. So... looks good. Pretty typical, like old school Kenner sculpt. You know, as far as like the arm movement, leg movement, and the head movement, which that looks more like a. There we go. That has not been played with. It will be, you know. No accessory. I don't know if he came with. He probably came with something because there's like a holster-ish thing over here. Doesn't really look like a gun case though. It's really wide unless it's like a biker scout gun or something like that. I don't know. I do. But looks like it's complete or nearly complete. But yeah, I've got another one on the way. That again, I paid I think like $30 for it. I got a good deal on it. And it's not here yet, obviously. But it's ship and figure. And I'll probably sell one of the figures. Keep one, sell one. But keeping the ships. But I wanted to get at least pretty much 3 of whatever bigger ship I decided on. I broke a nail. Probably doing the stool. And because, again, it's a little dirty over here, I can clean that, that's easy. Because the Y-Wings are going to be kind of pricey to do that, not the second. I figured, you know, I like the U-Wings, I'll do that. And they're really accessible right now. There's a bunch of listings on eBay. And sometimes availability can dry up on an item. So I was like, let me go ahead and grab my 3 now. Because in 6 months or a year, they might be $70 or $80 if I can find one. You know what I mean? Get it while the getting is good kind of thing. But yeah, all 3 of them I paid like $30, $40 each for, which, okay, I can do that. The Y-Wings, because I don't want one that's completely banged up. I want them to be pretty complete. I don't necessarily need the pilot that comes with them normally, whatnot, but I'd like all the parts. And it's really easy to not find all the parts for some of those. They're probably going to be 150 each, maybe more, depending. The original release one, I'm not certain, but I expect, because it's harder to find vintage, it's so weird saying that, connected with my childhood, because I never had a Y-Wing. I had a Slave 1, I had a Land Speeder, Snow Speeder, I had stuff. I had the Death Star, I had stuff, 500 figures, you know, a couple Tauntauns. I was okay in that department, but I never was able to get my paws on a Y-wing. Anytime I had the money or whatnot, this is before the internet. Lionel Play World, Toys R Us, that was kind of... Sears used to actually carry a fair supply of Star Wars stuff in Kmart too sometimes. But every time I had the Wampum in my pocket, there were no Y-Wings on the shelf. So, sadness. So, 30, 40 years later, I gotta brave eBay and try and find some, but not this second. But yeah, the original vintage, I don't know when it came out, probably 77, 78, somewhere in there. That one, getting one complete, I'm expecting I may have to drop 300 for it. Yeah, I may get lucky, but I got a hunch it's not going to be. It definitely won't be $10. It will not, unless I go to a garage sale and get incredibly lucky. No, that won't happen. Just being realistic. So we're not going to do that this second. I just bought a gauntlet machine. Oh my god, I'm so excited about that. That's very motivating to getting on this stuff, like with zeal. But yeah. Oh, sexy thing. I know, I'm 12. I know. But yeah, so Pix wants to go. She's coming over today also. We're going to get some work done. She wants to go back to Walmart because on our way out, we went down the clearance aisle. So we were just in the main doll aisle, and a couple of the figures, a couple of the dolls that she got, because I mentioned like the Naturalista, I think it is. They actually had like clearances on some of the stuff. And going down the clearance aisle, she's basically kicking herself now because we checked out and I think it was Fashionista, or Naturalista, they were even cheaper than we thought they were. They were tagged for like, $8, and they actually rang up at like $6. So apparently, and if she had said something, we would have gone right back in. But she was kind of kicking herself in the car on the way here and all that, because she found a third one in the clearance aisle that wasn't in the main doll aisle, and she's like, now I wish I had grabbed that one. So she asked me last night. We chatted for a couple minutes before we went to bed. It's weird, like calling across, 30 miles away to tuck your girl in. Hate that. Absolutely hate it. It's what we've got right now. But she asked if we could go back to Walmart, and she wants to get that third doll. So there were a couple other things that we could definitely pick up that we didn't pick up yesterday. A couple things I just found out we really should have, and a couple things we actually forgot. So she's going to get her third doll as long as they still have it, but they had a bunch in the clearance aisle, so it should be okay. We're in a stable place right now, and it's not too crazy over the top. It's something we can afford to get, and she wants it, and we're going to get it. If nothing else, it's good therapy, because we got, I'm going to quote Q on this, a big pile of poo to go through. Q, this is a big pile of poo here. I miss you. I miss working with you every day. I'm in the warehouse from hell right now, Q. One brick. I'm going to cut through it. We're going to grumble a little bit while we're doing it, but we're going to cut through it. So, I'm going to get some breakfast. Made another pot of the it is Barissimo. It's the Aldi brand. I'm used to calling it a donut shop blend. This is probably the European versus like American terminology. Uh, they call it the donut store blend, which I'm like, donut store. It's a donut shop, but whatever. Um, yeah. If you're European, if you want to spell shop with two P's and an E on the end, I'm totally cool with it. But it's a donut shop. It's not a donut store. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Make it a great day. Oh, and I'm still not AI. Ta-da! Make it a great day.